Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. It is currently 7 a.m. and it's a big day. We got some phlebotomy training today. Gonna be drawing some blood, doing some arm pokes, some hand pokes. Hopefully not some heel pokes on babies, but I've heard that we do that as well. We'll see what happens. Gotta leave in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go make some breakfast. And then we're gonna go. So we just did some reading in the book, and now we're going on a lunch break before we go back and do some draws so people can get some food in them, get a little bit of water in them so they don't pass out, so they have good veins to poke in, get some blood from. Hopefully everything works out well. We'll see. I'm going to try and get myself on camera getting blood drawn. I will see how well that goes. Hopefully I can get it. I have to ask my teacher for permission first, and of course the person doing the blood draw and the person videotaping if it's okay. So there's a lot that's got to go into it beforehand, but hopefully it works out. Otherwise, you guys aren't going to see anything, but then I can just tell you about it afterwards and describe what I did. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, so let's see. Definitely not the healthiest option, but I did have to get some spicy nuggets. You already know. Super good, really quick, close. I also got this massive drink, just some lemonade, because it was close and I only have half an hour to eat, and I needed a drink, and this was relatively cheap, so. Needle and blood warning. If you have a weak stomach or a phobia of either of those, please skip past the following clip. If you're here, congratulations. You're going to get to see me break down my own blood being drawn, breaking down why we do what we do. So as the phlebotomist, right now, they're going to apply the tourniquet above my wrist or above the elbow around the bicep in an arm draw. What this does is increases blood flow to the area, allows the veins to pop, makes it easier for the phlebotomist to see, because obviously you don't want to be fishing around inside the hand or the arm because that would hurt. After the tourniquet has been applied, the alcohol swab is used to sterilize the surface. This is because you obviously don't want bacteria or germs or dirt, whatever it may be, when you're injecting a needle, because that can cause some serious infections and you don't want that. So we sterilize the surface with an alcohol swab, then remove the butterfly needle from the packaging. As this alcohol is drying, we simply remove any kinks that may be in the tube by straightening it out, so blood flow is easy and there are no problems with that. There's a little tube at the end. You can see that's where the vials are going to be put, so we can see the blood flow down. It's a very clear tube. It's nice, makes it easy. So this is the little butterfly needle. You remove the safety mechanism and apply counter pressure. What counter pressure does underneath the knuckle is makes the skin a little tighter or a little looser instead of being tight, which allows the needle to go in easier and exit easier. It hurts the patient a lot less. You want tight counter pressure. Then the needle is injected, as you can see, and there's not blood flow initially. So as you remove counter pressure, what the phlebotomist would do next is reapply counter pressure, slightly remove the needle, and readjust to where the vein is. After that is done, you can see the blood flow in the yellow part of the tube. So then you take the first vial that you need, you inject it, you can see the blood flow down the tube. It's vacuum stored, or I guess anti-pressure, so that blood flows down into the tube nicely once you break the top seal. You do that with a second tube in case there are multiple being run. We were just practicing doing 2 tubes at once at this point. Once you have the second one full, you're able to remove the tourniquet. You're able to take some gauze, hover over the surface, completely remove the needle, apply the gauze, and tape. That was absolutely incredible. That was amazing. We practiced doing some hand pokes along with some arm pokes, and I got both my arm pokes and both my hand pokes on the first try. So I have 100% draw rate on my poke rate. My success rate is 100%. Absolutely incredible feeling. My ego could not be higher right now, which maybe isn't the best thing, but for a phlebotomist, it's nice to have some confidence. So coming in, getting 2 successful arms and 2 successful hands right off the bat really is awesome. Certification exam is next week. Maybe at the time you're seeing this, I might already be certified. I might put that in the description, but really great feeling. And now we just enjoy the moment and wait for the exam, do a little bit of studying. We got a practice guide to do. And then we take our exam, and then I can become a certified phlebotomist. So it's a couple days later, I'm editing this video, and I'm currently studying for my actual clinical exam and the written test portion. So it's about 3 hours each, 3 hours clinical lab exam, and then 3 hours of our written test, about 150 questions, along with 4 successful pokes on the first try. So hopefully all goes well. But as I'm studying, I'm reading through my book, and I'm going to give you an example of a practice question that we may be asked on the written exam. Of course, I don't know what exactly we're going to be asked, but our instructor did go over a couple of questions with us, and I wrote them down. So I thought I'd give you a fair example of something that I might be asked, that she offered to us, that you also might be asked if you're planning on going through a similar training. So what I've written down here is, if a doctor tells you that there are no more available foot pokes to be used on a baby, what is your next course of action? So if you're going to do a heel poke on an infant, you're going to draw where your foot is here. You're going to go right down to the heel on the medial or lateral side. So not in the middle and not at the very bottom. When I say heel, it's more the inside and the outside of the base of the foot, I guess. If a doctor tells you that you're no longer able to do more foot pokes simply because they need it for something else, or there might be a surgery, in the next couple of days and they want things to heal, don't want an initial cut, what are you going to do next? In that case, what I would say is they have specific limitations for what sizes, gauge needles you can use on an infant. So instead of using a regular arm needle, I would look for the medial cubital vein and use a butterfly needle, which is normally used on a hand in an adult, but in this case I would use it on the arm for a baby. You also need to get specific requests if you're going to do a foot draw. So you can't just say you're going to do a foot draw, you need to get a specific request from the physician and permission to do so. So in that case, I would take a butterfly needle and insert it in the median cubital vein to draw a successful poke on an infant. Another example would be, there are a big old list, which I'll show a little clip of specific tests and what order you run them in. So let's say you get 3 tests. You get one for a complete blood cell count, a sterile bottle, and a PTT. What order are you going to draw those 3 items in? And I can flip back here and I'll run over how you would do it, but I would draw that in the sterile bottle, which always comes first. You also have a red discard tube that you're going to use simply to get rid of the initial blood, get rid of any potential bacteria, I guess, that's on the surface. So I would use that sterile bottle first, run a little bit of that red tube, and then if we have a PTT, which is a partial thromboplastin time, and whatever I said, a complete blood cell count, I would do the sterile bottle first, then do a little bit of that discard. And then to not cross-contaminate, of course, that's part of the discard tube. Then you would do the PTT, and then you do the complete blood cell count last. So not really fourth, because there were only 3 official tests, but however, you'd use 4 tubes, doing a very small amount in that red tube as a discard. Sterile bottle, PTT, partial thromboplastin time, and then the complete blood cell count, a CBC. So those would be 2 examples of questions that you would be asked potentially on a written exam. Clinical exam, you just have to go with your luck. You just have to go with your skill, get 2 successful arm draws and 2 successful hand draws before you can be officially certified as a phlebotomist. So I'll let you know how things go. I'll put it in the description, maybe in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and a subscription to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.